We got an interesting, this world is satanic. This world is going down the toilet bowl, so to speak, because what I'm going to talk about today is pretty gross, and we're going in blind like always. So maybe I overreacted. I don't know. But if this is what I think it is, this world needs Jesus. So what we're going to be talking about today is apparently there's a TV show that just came out or is coming out, or I think they have a season that's pretty gross. It's called Naked Education, and it's about revealing nudity to kids. That's a big no-no. I don't know how they got away with it. I don't know how they made it a TV show. I don't know what their ultimate goal is because I only know a little bit about it, but I've seen enough where they stand up in front of the kids and I can't believe this is an actual thing that actually exists. This is Naked Education, I guess.
In our Naked Education lesson, the teens are talking all things male.
Hi.
Hey guys.
And they're about to get an eyeful.
I've never seen like a full naked man before. I hope that the teens take away from
You shouldn't. It's a good thing that you haven't. It's a phenomenal thing that you haven't. That's the best thing for you that you have not seen that. That's something that you should celebrate.
from today, that nobody is out of place, that you can fit in, that you can stand out, but that it's all okay.
Guys, do you want to take off your robes?
Look at how young they are. All these adults, all of them, all 100% of these adults, I don't care. They need to be in jail. They need every one of them for, like, if you would have done this in any other situation, you would have gone straight to prison. Those are kids. That's a kid. Like that should not exist. This scene, this picture should never exist. Nobody should have this in their head. This is disgusting.
You don't look at other people naked.
No.
You're 14 years old. There's no reason that you should have seen this. None whatsoever. This is something that's gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. I'm sorry that they did this to you.
No. Whoa. Naked men.
Of course, he has a mustache.
Say it.
Penis.
How is this a real thing? How does this exist?
I mean, yeah.
That kid there knows exactly that this should not be happening. How far is too far? How much is too much? How is this not grooming? Explain to me. Someone explain to me how this is not grooming. When you're normalizing the adult naked body in front of children, it's one step going down this line, one step further every time, one step further this is way too much. This is way too much. That's a great question. That's a phenomenal question right there. How is this not pedophilia? How is it not? If this would have happened 5 years ago, every one of those men would be in jail right now.
Don't look at anything, just an eye contact and look away.
It's just a lot to process.
A lot of
Don't
what?
be in the room with them. You should be in jail too, both you hosting the show.
Naked men in real life, we've never really seen it.
Do you want to introduce?
So if it's okay for 14, 15-year-old kids, why do you gotta blur it out? If it's not okay to put on the internet, why is it okay to put in front of kids? 15-year-old kids, 14-year-old kids.
Yourself.
Hi, I'm Michael.
You're a freak, Michael. You're a pervert. You're a pervert.
Hi, I'm Dwayne.
Dwayne, you're also a pervert and a freak.
Hello, I'm Pete.
Pete, you belong in jail.
Hello, I'm Danny.
Danny, you also belong in jail. Every one of you. All of you.
Out of our lineup, who do you think has the average size penis?
What? What? Why is that the question? Why would you ask that? If it's about normalizing the naked body and not making it so taboo, why does that need to be part of why is that the first question you would? This is real. This is not a satire thing. This is a legit, real TV show that exists in our world today. Let's just recap on what we just seen on this TV show. 4 grown men got naked in front of 15-year-old kids, and then the question they asked them was, who do you think's penis size is the average size? This is what they want to normalize for kids. If somebody explained to me how this isn't grooming.
So Michael in the end.
Yeah, I think I'll say Michael as well.
Michael? Amelia?
I'd have to third that, yeah.
So you're right, so the average penis size, if you remember, is around 3 inches in the UK. And yeah, Michael.
Well, at least now we know where it is. It's in the UK.
Those men, in their penises, it's
Why'd I
interesting
pause
to
it?
see how something of the same thing can look so different.
And there is one penis here that looks very different from the rest. Pete, he's the only circumcised penis in this lineup.
Why did you get circumcised?
I'm gonna this channel. How is this actually allowed on anything?
Born shortly after the war, and in the hospital where I was born, the recommendation to all parents was that they have their sons circumcised. It was just the norm at that time.
Did that kind of affect your sexual relationship in any way?
I've had no negative feedback about it. It's just who I am.
You don't need to talk to a kid about that.
So yeah, in terms of circumcision and sex, it doesn't make a difference to the function. Some people who have been circumcised later in life might say it feels a bit different, but after time, those feelings settle and it just feels normal, really.
I do know about circumcision, but I don't know how to spot it.
That's it. That's done. Oh my God. I actually think I'm gonna be sick. There's a picture on this website. I don't want you guys to see the picture, but there's like a review about this channel. And so I'm going to read the first part before I bring it up for you guys. It says, Naked Education Review, the look at pubic hair is wonderfully revelatory? I don't know what I'm saying. 4 stars out of 5. Giggling, blushing teens, unbridled nudity. It's yet another Ann Richardson show about nakedness. Surprisingly, this one features genuine moments of wisdom. This is The Guardian, by the way. We're going to get into, this is the author. If you guys want that in your notes, this person who approves of this grooming. Channel 4's long running, but to this day terrifying dating shows, Naked Attraction, must hold the record for the number of boobs, bellies, and balls shown on British television. Thank you for that. Its host, Anna Richardson, has always tried to steer the judging of strangers' autonomies towards a message of positivity about our endless different shapes and sizes with limited success, and now she has a new series, Naked Education, with which to atone. Again, the hook is unbridled nudity, but this time the focus is definitely on acceptance, myth-busting, affirmative, shared experiences. No, cap, total cap. It's about grooming. That's what it is. You're exposing nudity to children. What other reason would you want to do that? We're in a light fractional magazine format, flipping between clearly labeled sections that recur reassuringly every week. Teen Talk gathers together a group of teenagers and asks for their views on particular aspects of the body image. Yeah, we've seen that. Before a gentle re-education takes place at the hands of co-presenters Yinka Bonkini and Dr. Alex George. The unconventional, unforgettable teaching aid, a lineup of fully naked adults. The way he's writing is so celebratory. You're pervert. The first topic for teens is body hair, a subject that turns out to be, for secondary schoolers, a funky morass of legendary rumor and prejudice. Bobby, now 14, laments only having developed a pubic hair at the age of 12, quite late, equally incorrect in a way that is also half adorable, half alarming, is 15-year-old Elliot, who shaves his armpits and thinks pubic hair should be eradicated as well because it's unhygienic and helps spread sexually transmitted diseases. Now, let's be clear. I do think there should be some, especially at the teenage years, they have hormones going everywhere. There should be some form of education, and more than just, don't do it or you'll die. But like actually talk to them about the, all the things, puberty, pubic hair, consent, all those things that should be part of the conversation. But you don't have to get naked in front of them. That's not a requirement. It's unnecessary. It's unneeded. Once Dr. Alex has hit the kids with the facts, yeah, that's what they're hitting them with. There are no hygiene issues, and inflamed skin caused by unnecessary shaving actually makes some STDs easier to contract. 4 figures in robes emerge. 4 pedophiles in robes emerge. And it's time for the blushing and giggling to start. Why is it just me? Is it just me, or is this written? Is this written as like more provocative than it should be because their robes are about to hit the floor? Like, take this out of context. 4 figures in robes emerge. Let's just pretend we didn't watch anything or know any context about this. Let's take this out of context. 4 figures in robes emerge, and I know we shouldn't take things out of context, but hear me out. 4 figures in robes emerge, and it's time for the blushing and giggling to start because those robes are about to hit the floor. If I said that to you in any other situation, what would you think? This is gross. I know, right, John? They don't have to keep saying giggling and blushing like bro. They're trying to make it sexual. When the teens have calmed down, however, the passing on of wisdom that follows is wonderfully revelatory. One of the nude volunteers explains how her ex-partner insisted she remove her pubic hair, which is why he's no longer around, but her bush visibly is. There's so much to unpack there. First of all, your marriage, your unification, the two of you are going to becoming one flesh. This is the reason you'd end a relationship? Let's start with that. Second of all, why are you telling kids? Which is why he's no longer around, but her bush visibly is. Another 26-year-old Bethany has embraced the hairy legs and beard that are consequence of polycystic ovary syndrome. Her quietly defined speech about how she accepts the way she looks and challenges others to follow suit is, to an audience of trainee adults who 5 minutes ago thought nobody could ever love a girl who isn't utterly hairless, a game changer. You guys know razors exist, right? Like I'm not saying that you all gotta be hairless, but I mean, like, you're just making it sound like it's a big thing. It's not hard to shave. I mean, if this is what's holding you back, I'm like, oh my God. All right. They're impressed just by the sight of 3 women and a man lifting up their arms to show 8 pits, all naturally, beautifully hirsute. Hey, what are you doing today? Oh, we went and stood in front of a bunch of kids and I showed them my armpit. What? Just imagine you're sitting down having coffee with somebody. So, I mean, hey, what did you do today? Show kids my armpit. Elsewhere, 32-year-old mother of 2, Lorene, and a stranger 7 years her senior, a stranger 7 years her senior, Libby, are bonding thanks to what Richard's narration insists is a powerful naked exchange. Powerful. Just powerful. Visually, this part of the show is an odd offering. In keeping up with the bear theme, the conversation takes place in a studio that's unadorned apart from stools in the middle. The robes come off in due course, but the 2 women's clothes conversation is the more important event. Both had emergency cesareans, both had postnatal depression in their weeks following. They have already shared a valuable destigmatization conversation about the mental toll of motherhood. And that's good. You can have that conversation with your clothes on. What's wrong? Why can't you have that conversation wearing clothes? Even before they stand up to compare their changed bodies, the older, calmer Libby demonstrates how scars grow pale and faded with time. Again, you can explain this. It's not a hard thing to explain to somebody with your clothes on. Richardson talks to the series' resident school group of nude models, all of whom have a story about overcoming being bullied over the body shape. Each week, the Naked Brigade, that's what we're calling them, the Naked Brigade. With the whole show is about finding words for things we fear to discuss. So perhaps cheerful labels are a good way to ease up in climb jovially into a nimbus and travel to meet a civilian who needs help. In episode 1, it's 32-year-old Hannah from Cardiff, who is 6 feet tall and has, since she hit puberty, been desperate to take up less space. I mean, if you're showing your stuff to kids, I'd be okay with you taking up less space too. Now though, she says, I don't want to spend 1 more minute worrying about how I look. The program's solution is a group of nude photo shoot with Hannah and the Naked Brigade's bodies painting with the insults they have thrown at them, so they can take ownership of them. In Hannah's case, her torso says giant, massive, tall. Why did people who have hardships always paint things on themselves and I'm gonna take, it's so stupid. It really is. It doesn't help you. After a makeover from the show's stylist, including an up to accurate her height rather than apologize for it, Hannah disrobes and looks terrific. Is the photo kind of like an iconic piece of art, as the ever enthusiastic Richardson claims? Maybe not, but Hannah is happier, as are hopefully viewers with the same experience. Another layer of her collective insecurity has been stripped away. No, we don't need Jesus. We don't need religion. We don't need God. No, we just need this. Make the death penalty great again. This would absolutely traumatize me as a teenager. Me too. Oh my God. You can read that one. I'm not reading it out loud. What is next? They had freaking toddlers and tiaras. That was like an absolute perverted, disgusting thing that happened and existed. And then they had the youth. I'm scared I'm going to get banned. It starts with a D and ends with a G. The youth dancing in that form. That was the thing that got protested. I think they took that down, I hope. And now this. And leave the kids alone. Just back off from the kids. Do your own sick, perverted things on your own time with consenting adults. But this is just wild. And then they're going to look at us, oh, you Christians, you're worried so much about, well, yeah, because look where it's led us. When we live in a world where it's why do you care about what somebody does with X or somebody does with Y? And I'm being careful what I say because I'm live on TikTok here. And then we say, well, because it leads down this path. And they go, no, it doesn't. It will never do that. Well, now look at the world we live in. We have people wanting to do, this is a real life television show that made it onto TV, got past all the people. A bunch of people had to sign off on it. Yep, this is good. This is a good thing that the kids should do. They want to convince these kids to chop pieces off of them now. That will make them happier in life because that's why they're depressed, because they have parts of them that don't belong. I grew up in a world where this didn't exist. Most of the kids, the vast majority of them, turned out fine. They weren't traumatized because they didn't see freaking 90-year-old, what's his name's freaking uncircumcised thing. How far are we gonna go? How far are we gonna let it go before we start destroying innocence, literally destroying it? Because that is innocence. There's no corruption that's come from the world as of yet. They think they're doing good by going at the children. See, this is what they want to do because they know that the current world thinks that what they're doing is demonic and wrong and evil. It's 100% evil what they are doing. So in their mindset, well, they say, we can't change the minds of these hateful bigots. So what we will do is we will focus on the children and we will groom them and we will manipulate them and we will indoctrinate them into our worldview. So the next generation that exists won't be like these people that disagree with us because we're good and they're evil. I don't know how many times I've had people say to me, it's cool that you're religious. It's cool that you're a Christian. Don't indoctrinate your children into Christianity if you have kids because you shouldn't do that. It's a form of child abuse. And by doing that, you are brainwashing them to believe something that is evil. And religion should be something that they should pick when they're old enough to figure it out on their own. They say that, but then at the same time, we see this. Make it make sense. Somebody make it make sense for me.